So, graphic design peeps, I haven't made any tutorials lately in the newest Adobe apps, and the ones that are out there are not teaching you what I want you to learn. So this first one, we're going to go into Adobe Illustrator, and I'm going to take a look at typography, specifically logo type, for those of you who are trying to set up logos, and just so you have a clue what the different tools are and how they work. So the first thing is setting up the workspace. I can't stand this two-column thing. I just shrink it into one column, makes my life happier. Next thing, you're going to need your character window, character panel, out of type. And that's just going to float it out here. And then over here, these panels are a complete train wreck. First of all, you've got this libraries panel. You can't even use it here at school, so like you could drag it away and make it disappear for all I care. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put this right here to start to make that panel set. All of these are the things I expect to be in the first panel set, including layers. Yeah. Yep. And pants. Alright, and we'll go ahead and grab the Pathfinder as well, because it's hotter than Aunt Jane's mustache. Woo! Some jokes get old, but not that one. There we go. We can collapse those panels down and start a new document. I honestly don't care as long as it has color, CMYK or RGB. And here we go. Talking about type. Okay, to do this, we're obviously going to use the type tool. Now, let's just get this out of the way first. There are two kinds of type in Illustrator. There is basically point and click type, or what I like to call logo type. And then there is click and drag type, which is paragraph type. So if I take my logo type, I hold my shift key, drag from the corner, I can make that sucker any size I want to and manipulate it independently. If I take this and drag it from the corner, it doesn't do a darn flippin' thing to the type because it's made to be a paragraph. Don't be stupid. If you're trying to make a logo for someone, don't grab the type tool and click and drag a dumb box. It doesn't work. It makes paragraph type. You just grab that sucker and click once. Then you've got logo type. So that's some important crap right out of the blocks. Now, your character panel is your friend. This is where you are changing fonts, font weights, and kerning and tracking. So let's show how quickly we can get something to look pretty good just with the default Myriad Pro font that they put you in, using just those tools. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab this where it says logo type. I'm going to go up here to type, and I'm going to change case and make that uppercase. And then we'll come over here and make that bold. And there it is. Now we'll take the tagline, we're going to leave it lowercase. And we'll select both of those things, center them. And there, that already looks somewhat like a logo, and we haven't even changed fonts. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of different ways that you could lay this out just using the same font, different weights and styles. But we can always use more than one font, and that makes things really interesting as well. So let me go ahead and change the font here. And then find something that works well with that. And again, this is something that you can play around with and see what you like. once you get into combining fonts, you come up with a whole lot of possibilities. Just remember these basic guidelines. I don't know that I would call them rules, but they're guidelines and they'll help you. Earlier we discussed font pairing whenever you did the visual design unit. So you probably learned that you want to go with thick fonts paired with thin fonts, or script fonts compared with or combined with really simple sans serif fonts, or serif with sans serif, all caps with no caps. Things like that really go together well. Another good rule of thumb, and that is for big text, you want to keep your tracking tight. So either 0 or you're going into the negatives. And for small text, you want to keep your tracking loose as possible, so that it's easier to read even though it's little. So, wider tracking, small text, tighter tracking, big text. That is definitely the way to go. Next time we'll talk about adding graphics and stylistic elements to the logos, as well as typing on a path and doing some other things to make them look more interesting.